Recording in progress.
Good evening, guys. In the last session, we discussed about JPA repository. JPA is a predefined interface provided by Spring Data JPA. And this JPA repository provided several methods to perform CRUD operations with database. JPA repository provided few additional methods to perform the CRUD operations which are not present in the CRUD repository. So JPA is providing CRUD repository functionality, paging and sorting functionality, and query by example functionality also. So what is pagination? We discussed that displaying the table records into multiple pages is called as pagination. My table is having 1 lakh records. All the 1 lakh records I can't display in the single page. For that, we will go for pagination. Now, to implement that pagination in the data JPA, we are having find all method with the page request. For the page request object, we need to set which page we are trying to access and what is the default size of that page. Page size, how many records you want to display in the page and in which page you want to display the data. That information we need to pass for page request object. Similarly, we can do sort operation. I want to sort the data based on the name or based on the gender, based on the salary, based on the date of birth, like that. So to do that sorting, for find all method, we can pass sort object as a parameter. And next one is QBE. Query by example concept is available. This query by example concept is used to construct select query dynamically based on given entity object data. Suppose if I set 2 values to the entity object, those 2 values will be added to query with the condition. Select a star from student where gender is equal to male and rank is equal to given value. For example, if I give only one value, that one column value will be added to where class to retrieve the data. So now, if you know how many values we need to use in the where class, then you can write the find by method. Sometimes in the requirement, how many values will come in the search operation, we don't know. User may select the gender, user may select the rank, user may select the city. We don't know which input will be given by user for searching the data. In that scenario, we can go for query by example. If the user search is fixed, like name and gender, then you can write a find by method. If user don't do that, then if user input is not, if user don't know which values will give, then we will go for query by example. Now, I have asked you people to insert, update, and delete records using custom queries in the data JPA. Did you guys try that? Inserting, updating, and deleting the records by using data JPA, by using custom queries. Did anybody try that? Tried it? Yeah, let's try this now today. I want to insert one record into student table. I want to update one record or I want to delete one record by using custom query. All right, let me go to database table. I'm going for MySQL Workbench to connect with my database server, and I will see the records which are available in database table. Now I want to write a custom query to delete the records available in the table. So connect with the database. Now select the database, use the table, select start from details. Select the database first. Use SBMS 27, that is our database name, and select start from table name. So I have some records. 106 records are available. Now I want to delete this 106 record. So what is the query, guys? Generally, delete from table where student ID is equal to given value. I want to do that delete by writing a custom query in the data JPA. Delete my ID method is available, that is predefined. I want to delete it by using custom query. Come on, guys. So let us see how to do that by using custom query. Public void delete student. I'm passing integer student ID. Delete student method I'm writing, and I want to pass a custom query in order to delete that student record. So here I'm using @query annotation. @query from student where ID. So what is the ID? Map it to ID variable. Delete from student where ID is equal to given SID. Now, whatever the variable I'm getting for my method variable name I'm giving as a positional parameter, named positional parameter. So whatever the ID we are getting as input for the method, that ID we are passing to where condition. From student, delete from student where ID is equal to SID. What is this SID? SID is our method parameter. Whatever the value we will get as the input for this method, same value I am passing to this named positional parameter. So JPA will take care of setting this value to named positional parameter when this query is getting executed. Delete from student where ID is equal to :SID. This :SID is called as named positional parameter. Now go and call this method student repo dot delete student. I'm going to call my method delete student ID 106. System.out.println deleted. All right. I have written one custom method delete from student where ID is equal to :SID, and I'm calling this method. Guys, am I writing any implementation for the method? Am I writing only abstract method? Am I writing any implementation for the method? I'm writing only abstract method. Come on. No implementation, only abstract method I'm writing. All right. Let's try to execute this program and see the behavior. Run as boot application. Go to the console. Check it. What is happening in our application? Guys, query executed successfully or query not executed successfully? Query executed successfully or query failed? Invalid data access API usage exception. Invalid data API exception we are getting. Illegal state exception. Query exception. No, not supported for DML operation. Delete from in dot ashok id dot entity student where ID is equal to SID. It is not executed. It is not executed. So can you guys tell me why it is not executed? What is the reason behind that? Can you guys guess why it is not executed and what is the reason for that? Can you guys check it? Why it is not executed? What is the reason behind that? Anybody? I gave this task. Native is equal to true. This is native query or this is a HQL query? HQL. Then why native is equal to true? ID and SID not same. No need to be same. One person telling use modifying annotation. Modifying annotation I am using. One person told me to use the modify annotation. I'm adding the modifying annotation here. Let me try this. Right click, run as, boot application, go to console. Check this. Still, I got the error. Transaction required, executing update or delete query. So earlier we had one exception. Now I used modifying annotation at the method level. And here I'm going to use @transactional annotation. Two annotations I have given. One is modifying, another one is transactional. Now let me check the table. Select start from table. 106 record is available. Now go here and run this. Run as boot application. Run this application. Wow. Now it got deleted. Can you see? My query is executed and it is saying that deleted. Go to database and check this. Guys, 106 record is available or 106 record is deleted from the table now. 106 record is available or 106 record is deleted from the table. 106 record is deleted. So what are the changes we made in our program so that it got deleted? What are the changes we made in our program? What are the changes we made in our program? Earlier we got the exception. Now that record got deleted. What are the changes we made to delete that record? The changes that we made is one is modifying annotation we have added. And the second one is transactional annotation we have added. So what is the reason for this? The reason is whenever we are performing any non-select operation through custom query, we need to enable transaction required for this. So now in the database, guys, we are performing select operation and non-select operations. Select operations means retrieving the record from the tables. That is called select operation. For select operations, transaction is not required. But for non-select operations, transaction is required. If you call the delete method directly, then JPA will take care of the transaction. If you call the predefined method, then JPA will take care of the transaction. But if you want to perform the non-select operation with the custom query, you need to tell that this method is for modifying, data manipulation, DML operation, we are doing that. To do this DML operation, transaction is required. We are giving that information to the JPA to perform this operation. If we want to perform non-select operation, using data JPA, then we should go for below two annotations. We should use below two annotations. What are those two annotations, guys? One is @modifying. Two is @transactional. Okay. Now, when we want to perform non-select operations using data JPA custom query, then we should use below two annotations at our method. What are those two annotations? One is modifying annotation. Second one is transactional annotation. We are doing DML operation. We are modifying table data. For that, transaction is required. We don't need these annotations for select queries. Suppose I want to retrieve a record by using custom query, right? So I'm going to write a method like this. I'm going to write a method like this, select students. I'm going to write a method like this, select students. Now here I will be writing annotation here from student. From student. So do I need modifying and transactional for the second method? Do I need modifying and transactional for the second method? It's not required. Modifying and transactional not required for the second method because it is doing select operation. It is doing retrieval operation. So when you are doing DML, like updating, deleting the records in the table through custom queries, then those annotations are mandatory. Otherwise, your operation cannot be performed. Are you clear? Are you guys clear? Why we got the exception earlier? Earlier, we are not using those annotations. So without those annotations, performing direct non-select operation is not possible. We need to inform to JPA that we are doing a DML operation with that method. For that, we need to specify modifying annotation. To perform this DML operation, we need a transaction. For that, we need to use @transactional. Sir, if I am using direct delete method, then delete by ID method is available. When we are using predefined method, JPA will take care of the transaction. We no need to write this. And these transactional annotations are required for only non-select operations. For select operations, it is not required. Okay. So these annotations are not required for select operations. The above annotations are not required for select operation. Not required for select operation. Are you clear, guys? Same thing we need to do for update also. When we are doing the update operation, update also comes under DML. Update operational comes under DML. So for update operation also, we need to use modifying and transactional. Mr. Sheikh, I told you the same thing, right? Modifying annotation will represent this method is performing DML operation. Transactional annotation will represent JPA need to take care of the transaction required for this method. So again, you are asking, please explain these annotations. I already told 3 times. Modifying annotation will represent this method is performing DML operation. Transactional annotation will represent this method requires a transaction from JPA to perform this operation. When you are writing non-select operations with custom queries, then only these annotations are required. If you are doing select operation with custom query, not required, because for select queries, transaction is not required. For non-select queries, transaction is required. It is a normal database concept. Now similarly, guys, I want to update column value in the table using JPA. How many ways are there? How many ways are there to update a column value in the JPA? Guys, how many ways are there to update a column value in the JPA? Come on. I want to update a record column value. How many ways are there to do that? Three ways, huh? What are those 3 ways, Bob? What are the 3 ways? Using save method, using custom query. There are 2 ways available. There are 2 ways available. Okay, guys. There are 2 ways available to do that. Now, suppose I want to update a record using custom query. Okay. 105 record is available. Butler, rank is 70. I want to update the rank as 80. I want to update the rank as 80. Or else, let us take 101. Raja record available. Gender is null. I want to update the gender as male for 101 record. For the 101 record, gender is not available. I want to update the gender. Okay. Now here, I want to update the gender for this record. How to do this? Public void update student. Integer student ID, string gender. For which student you want to update gender. Now, I want to write that by using custom query. I want to write that by using custom query. So, can you tell me how to write a custom query by using this? Can we do like this? Update student, set gender is equal to given gender, where ID is equal to given SID. Can I say this is my HQL query? Can I say this is my HQL query? Update student, set gender is equal to given gender, where ID is equal to SID. Guys, here colon gender represents named positional parameter. So whatever the gender we will pass to our method, this variable will be used here. SID, this SID will be used here. So this is a custom query to perform DML operation. That means updating. For this DML operation also, we need to add this modifying and transactional annotations. So when we want to perform DML operation with the custom query, modifying annotation, transactional annotation is required. Update student, set gender is equal to given gender, where ID is equal to given student ID. Let me call this method, guys. I'm commenting this delete method. Now let me go for student repo dot update student 101. Gender I am giving as male. Currently, for that 101 user, for that 101 student, gender is null value in the database. Currently for the student, gender is null value in the database. Now, this method should update the gender for that user. Update student, set gender is equal to given gender, where ID is equal to given ID. So go to application, run as boot application. Yeah, message will come wrong, guys. I need to give it as updated. SOP I have not changed. Update is executed. Now go to the database and check it. For 101 user, gender updated. Am I able to update the record by using custom query? Am I able to update the record by using custom query? Guys, am I able to update the record by using custom query? Yes, updated. So updating the record is a select operation or non-select operation. Updating the record is a select operation or it is a non-select operation. Non-select operation. For that, we need to use the annotations. For that, we need to use annotations. Got it? Update student, set gender is equal to given gender, where ID is equal to student ID. Clear now? Now, with this knowledge, can you write a method and send me for inserting a record using custom query? With this knowledge, can you write a method and send me to insert a record? To insert a record. Custom query. Come on, guys. Can you write a method which is used to insert a record into table? insert into student. Can you guys try, guys? Can you try inserting a record into table by using that insert query? Can you guys try inserting a record by using that insert query? Come on. Can you guys try inserting a record into table with JPA custom query? Insert a record into JPA with the JPA custom query. Try. I'm giving 2 minutes of time. I think your laptops are already open. You have practiced JPA examples. You guys are sending normal insert query. You guys are sending normal insert query. Can you try that insert query? Can you try that insert query? Come on. Can we do that? Can we do that? Insert student. Insert into student. Insert into student. Values. Student ID. Student name. ID, name, gender. ID, name, gender. Clear? I'm writing insert into student. It is my entity, values, ID, name, and gender. Okay, insert student. Go to this. Let me call this method some dummy values. Student repo dot insert student 106 some Geeta, gender female. Right. I'm trying to insert a record by using custom query. As we discussed, insert is also a non-select operation, DML operation. For that, we need modifying and transactional annotations. Right click, run as boot application. Let's try this. It failed. It failed. Okay, guys. Expecting open found values. Insert into student values. Insert into student values. So insert query is executing or insert query is not executing. Insert query is executing. Insert query not executing. Not executing. I think there is some issue in the query. Yeah? Insert into student values. Yes. Bracket opened, bracket closed, right? Is there any issue in the query? Is there any issue in the query? Where I need to give the bracket? Modifying is available. Transaction is also available. Here, one bracket, one closed. Here, opened. Here, we have Okay. Insert into student, ID, name, gender. Insert into student, ID, name, gender, values. Come on, guys. Let's try this. Run as boot application. Same error. No variable, unexpected token values. Right? It is not possible, guys. Inserting a record with a custom HQL query is not possible in the JPA directly. If you want to insert a record with a custom HQL, that is not possible in the JPA. There is no option. There is no option. We can't do that. We can't do that. We need to use native SQL. Insert into student underscore details, values, ID, name, gender. We can't do the insertion directly with the custom HQL query. That is not possible. That is not possible. We need to go for native SQL. How to go for native SQL? Value is equal to given value, comma, native is equal to true. Native query is equal to true. So if you do like this, then only it will accept it. Try this. Run as Spring Boot application. Now, unknown column ID. Okay. As it is a native SQL query, column names should be clear. Na? Student underscore ID, student underscore name, student underscore gender. Fully qualified query we need to write. Table name and the column names we have to use. Now, before going to do this, 105 records are available. Go to this class, run as boot application. Check the console. Check the console. Record is inserted into database table. Now go and check this. Go and check this. Am I able to insert 106 record? Guys, am I able to insert 106 record into the table? Yes, we are able to insert. So which operation we have done here? Insert. For insert, custom HQL is supporting, custom HQL is not supporting. Custom HQL supporting, not supporting, not supporting. If you want to insert the record using JPA, you need to use predefined method save, or you need to use native SQL. You need to use native SQL. Okay, guys. Modifying and transactional. So this is our example to work with that. Okay. Perfect. Insert, update records using custom queries in the data JPA. So if you want to perform custom query operations in the JPA with the custom queries non-select operations, modifying and transactional is required. Fine. Modifying and transactional is required. Why it is not supporting means they did not give that functionality. What we can do? They are recommending to use the save method. They are recommending to use the save method to insert the records into table. Directly you can't do with the custom queries. If you want to write a custom query, that custom query should be native SQL query. If you want to write a custom query to insert a record, that query should be native SQL query. Are you guys clear how to perform operations by using modifying and transactional. This modifying and transactional are not required for select operations. These are required only for insert, update, delete. Only for DML operations, these annotations are required. For select operations, these annotations are not required. For select operations, these are not required. All right, fine. If you want to insert without native SQL, save method is available to insert that record into table. If you want to insert a record without native SQL query, already we are having a save method. By using that save method, we can insert the record into table. By using save method, we can insert the record into table. Clear? Clear for all of you? Yeah, perfect. And the next one, guys, the next concept is time stamping in the data JPA. Time stamping in the data JPA. Time stamping in data JPA. That means this concept is used to populate created timestamp, updated timestamp. I want to understand when the record is inserted into database table, when the record is updated in the database table. So they provided two annotations. One is called @creation timestamp, @creation timestamp, and one other annotation called @update timestamp. Okay. So now for auditing purpose, we want to understand when this record is inserted into table, when this record is updated in the table. For that, we need to go for creation timestamp and update timestamp. Now, let me drop my table, guys. Student details table, I'm dropping. Okay. Drop student details table. That means this table will be deleted completely. Drop table, student details. Table dropped. Okay. Select a star from student details. Select star from student details. Now execute this. Table is not available, guys. My table is deleted. Okay. Now in this student class, it is already mapped to student details table. Now I'm going to add two more fields, guys. I'm going to add two more fields in this student class. So let's see what are those. Private, local date, created date, create date. Okay. And private, local date, update date, created date and updated date. I want to populate. So many records are inserting. I want to understand which students joined today, which students records are inserted today, which student records are updated today. I want to know created date for the record, updated date for the record for my auditing purpose. For created date, we can use one annotation called @creation timestamp. @creation timestamp. For updated date, we can use update timestamp. For every record, I want to maintain creation date as well as updation date, created date and updated date. Guys, do we really need to set the created date, updated date? Our system should populate created date and updated date for the record. When the record is created, it should populate the value for created date column and it should populate the value for update date column when the record is updated. To do these operations, we have annotations here directly. One is creation timestamp, another one is update timestamp. Creation timestamp annotation is used to populate created date value for this column. Updated date timestamp annotation is used to populate updated date value for this column. Here, let me write @column name is equal to created date. You can customize the column name also, right? By using @column name, you can customize it, created date, and here I'm using updated date, created date and updated date values I'm using. Now setter methods, getter methods I want to generate for these variables. Select all, click on generate. I have generated setters and getters for the variables. Created date and updated date. Okay, let me go to, I'm deleting all these methods not required now. We already completed that process. This is my repository, which is extending from JPA repository. Now here, I want to insert a record. Okay, student repo, I want to use to insert a record. Student S is equal to new student constructor. ID, name, rank, gender. ID is 1. Name is some Raja. Rank is 111. Gender is male. Gender is male. All right. Now I have created object for student class. Rank is long value L. Now student repo dot save of this student object system dot out dot println record inserted. Record save. Guys, if you observe in the entity class, how many values I'm setting? If you observe how many values I'm setting in the entity class, guys? How many values I'm setting in my entity class? How many values I'm setting in my entity class? Only 4 values. Only 4 values. Am I setting the value for created date and updated date columns also? Am I setting the value for created date and updated date columns? No, I'm not. I'm not setting that. Now, table is available in the database or a table is not available in the database. Table is also not available in the database. All right, let's go here. Let's go here and let's run this. Right click, run as boot application. Okay, I'm trying to insert a record. I'm not setting the value for created date and updated date. For those columns, I have given creation timestamp, update timestamp. Right click, run as boot application. Yep, table is created, record is inserted. Go to the database table. Now, guys, can you see created date is populated with the today's date? Can you see created date is populated with the today's date? Am I setting the value? Am I setting the value? JPA setting that value? Created date. So it is easy for tracking purpose. Can I easily understand when my record inserted, what is the record created date for auditing purpose? After 1 month, I want to understand which records are created in the month of January, which records are created in the month of February, which records updated yesterday, which records are inserted today. Can we analyze our table data by using created date and updated date? Can we analyze our table data by using created date and updated date, guys? Yes or no? Yes, we can do that. Now, but if you observe, updated date also populated. Actually, did I update this record? I have not updated this record as of now. Did I update this record or I have not updated this record? I have not updated this record. But by default, it populated created date as well as updated date also. By default, it populated created date and updated date also. But I want when the record is inserted, only created date should populate. When the record is updated, then only updated date should populate. For that, what we can do is a small setting that we need to do. Created date, here we need to specify updatable is equal to false. Here we need to specify insertable is equal to false. Understand? For created date, I'm saying updatable is equal to false. For updated date, I'm giving insertable is equal to false. Are you guys getting my point? Created date should not be updated. Updated date should not be inserted. at the time of insertion. Updated date should not be populated at the time of insertion. Created date should not be modified at the time of updation. Okay, created date should be there as it is. It should not be updated. Updated date should not be inserted when the record is inserted. When the record is modified, then only updated date should be populated. For that, in the column annotation, I'm giving updatable is equal to false for created date. For updated date, I'm giving insertable is equal to false. Are you guys clear? Now, let us do this. I'm going to do a small change here, guys, for your understanding purpose. I want to recreate my table. To recreate the table, DDL auto create. When I give DDL auto create, it will delete the existing table. It will recreate the table. Go to application, run this. Run as boot application. Existing table will be deleted and a new table will be created. Now see, drop the table, create the table, insert the record. Now go to this. Now, can you see? Only created date populated, updated date is null value. Am I able to stop that updated date? Yes, I'm able to stop that updated date. Only my created date is populated. When the record is updated, then updated date will be populated. When the record is updated, then updated date will be populated. Are you guys clear? Now somebody is asking, sir, I want to insert along with time. Now only date is inserted. Only date is inserted. I want to insert this date along with the time, hours, minutes, seconds also. For that, you need to change your data type. Instead of, if you give local date, this is introduced in the Java 1.8, guys. Local date is the class since 1.8 version of Java. If you want date with the time, then you need to go for local date time class. Which class we need to use, guys? Instead of local date, you need to use local date time class. When you use local date time class, then it will support for date along with the time. Okay, guys, I have changed the data type of these date variables to, earlier I used only local date. Now I am using local date time. When we use local date, only year, month, day will be available. When we use local date time, date plus time also will be available. Date plus time also will be available. Perfect. Now let's go here. Run the application. Right click, run as boot application. Now existing table deleted, new table created, and see the data. Am I able to insert the record with the date time also? Created date along with time 8/23. So February 13th at 8/23, that record got inserted. After you see 1 year also, created date will be available. Easily we can analyze our table data with this time stamping. Created date, updated date. So if you use the variable data type as a local date, it will insert just date. If you use a local date time, then it will insert date plus time also. All of you able to understand what is time stamping in the data JPA? Creation timestamp annotation. It is used to populate. It is used to populate record inserted date into DB column. Updated timestamp. It is used to populate record updated date into DB column. Creation timestamp and update timestamp. Creation timestamp is used to populate record inserted date into DB column. Updated timestamp is used to populate record updated date into DB column. I'm giving the entity class for that. I'm not writing setters getters, guys. You can write that. setters and getters. Note, local date represents only date value, whereas local date time class will represent date with time. Local date class will represent only date value, whereas local date time class will represent date along with time. So depends on the requirement, we can use the particular data type in our scenario. So this is called timestamping concept in the data JPA. Timestamping is used to populate the created date and updated date column values in the database. We no need to set the values for those two columns, guys. When we use these annotations, those values will be populated by default. Yes. Are you guys clear with my point? Are you guys clear with my point? Next one. What is soft delete and what is hard delete in the database? In most of the projects, we are going to use soft delete and hard delete. Soft delete and hard delete. Anybody know what is soft delete and what is hard delete? Does anybody know what is soft delete and what is hard delete? Yes, come on guys, can you guys tell me? Simple. In the real time, we are going to implement this soft delete and hard delete functionalities. Even in our website also, I have that functionality. In our Ashok ID website also, we have soft delete and hard delete functionality. Okay, so let me show you where is that soft delete and hard delete functionality available in our website. Now, I have an admin panel for my website. So in this admin panel, when we log in, courses will display, guys. View courses will be available. Now, if you go for Java, in the Java, we have several courses. Hibernate with JPA, RESTful services, microservices. Okay, there are several courses available. Now, I don't want to display Java new features in our website, or I want to display that. If you go to this courses offering, if you go for courses offering and Java full stack, if you go for these courses with the Java full stack, now in the Java full stack courses, Java logical programming course is displaying. Now, I want to delete that course from the website, not from the database. Now, Java logical programming is available. Now, I have deleted. Course has been deactivated. So, course is available here. Java logical programming course is available here. But if you go to the website and if you refresh this Java course, now you can't see that Java logical programming. It is disappeared from the website. Why it is disappeared from the website? Because I have deleted. Whenever I want, I can get it back. Tomorrow, if I want to start the logical programming again, I'm going to activate this course again. Course has been activated. Now go back and refresh this page, courses offering. So if I go to Java, again, my Java logical programming part is coming. So now, whatever the courses are available, I'm not deleting them directly. I'm just making the course as inactive. Whenever I want, I can get it back. So similarly, in the projects we are having soft delete and hard delete. So what is the meaning of a hard delete? Hard delete means deleting the record from the DB permanently using delete query. Are you guys getting my point? So what is hard delete? Hard delete means deleting the record from DB permanently using delete query. Soft delete means updating the record as inactive. Updating the record as inactive. So active records will be available, inactive records will be available. Whenever you do delete, instead of deleting the record from the database, I will update the record as inactive record so that I can get the data from database in the future whenever I want. Simple example I have shown you. Now, Java logical programming batch is not available. If I delete this, I will lose all the data. I don't want to delete. I want to remove from the UI. Whenever I want, I can get it back. So in my project, I have implemented soft delete functionality. In my project, I have implemented soft delete functionality. Hard delete means deleting the record from DB permanently using delete query. Once we perform hard delete, we can't get the data back from database. We can't get data back from DB. Hard delete means deleting the record from the DB permanently using delete query. Once we perform hard delete, we can't get data back from database. So for that, we are going for soft delete. So what is the meaning of soft delete? Soft delete means updating the record as inactive. What is the meaning of soft delete, guys? Soft delete means updating the record as inactive. Soft deleted records will be available in the database. Whenever we want, we can get it back. Soft deleted records will present in database. So we can access whenever we want. Example, activating the course and deactivating the course instead of deleting. Activate or deactivate. We will maintain one extra column in the database, status. Yes, no. If record is deleted, yes, that is soft delete. Record will be available. We can implement a soft delete by using additional column in the table. Active switch, yes or no. We can implement soft delete using additional column in table. Like active switch. Active switch Y means active switch equal to Y, active record. Active switch is N, deleted record. Active switch is N. I can say deleted record. Are you guys able to understand? Are you guys able to understand? Hard delete means deleting the record from the DB permanently using delete query. Once we perform hard delete, we can't get data back from DB. So simple. We have a student record in the database. Select star from students. Suppose if I delete this student with the ID 1, can I get this student back? Delete from student where ID is equal to 1. Can I get it back? No. Right. Suppose I want to delete the student. How I want to perform soft delete. To perform the soft delete, what I will do? I will take one more variable to make a column. Private string active switch. This is manually we need to set, guys. Active switch column I'm going to take here. Normal column. We need to set the data. At the rate column, name is equal to active switch. Name is equal to active switch. Whenever you want to delete a record, I need to set the active switch as N. Soft delete means it's not a delete, guys. It is update basically. Soft delete means it is update basically. I need to update the record as active switch N or Y. Let me generate the two strings. Okay. Let me regenerate the constructor Generate the constructor using fields. Generate. Create a date, update a date. I don't need in the constructor because I don't set those values manually. Those values will be generated by timestamp. I'm taking active switch now. Record I want to save. Student repo dot save student. For this, I'm going to create a student object and I'm going to send. Student S is equal to new student of name, rank, gender, active switch. Rank is 101. Name is Rani. Rank 200 or 100 anything. Gender female. Active switch Y. Initially, I'm setting the active switch as Y. I want to save this student record. Active switch is Y. New column. Okay. Here I have create. Table will be deleted and a new table will be created. Now run as boot application. A table will be created with a new column called active switch column. It is dropping the existing table, creating the new table. Select star from student details. Now can you see active switch available as Y? Now I have student record with active switch as Y. Okay, because I have inserted that record with active switch as Y. Now let me delete this create, because if I use create, every time table will be deleted. So I will lose all the data. I want to change from create to update. Now I want to delete the record, guys. I want to delete the record. So do you want me to implement a hard delete or you want me to implement a soft delete now? Do you want me to implement soft delete or hard delete? What is the meaning of a hard delete? What is the meaning of a hard delete? Deleting the record permanently. If I delete the record permanently, can I get it back? If I delete the record permanently, can I get it back? No. I will go for soft delete. Soft delete means deleting the record or making the record as inactive. What is the meaning of soft delete? Soft delete means making the record as inactive. Now, how I will perform soft delete? So to do this soft delete, first I will get the existing record from the table. Student repo dot find by ID. What is the ID? ID is 101. Dot get student object I'm getting. Now I will do student dot set active switch as N. Now student repo dot save of student. To update the record, I'm using save method. First, I am trying to retrieve the existing record with the given ID. For the record, I am modifying the switch as N. Then I'm calling save. For the given entity, primary key is already available, so it will update the record. What it is updating? Earlier, the record is inserted with the active switch as Y. Now the active switch we are making as N. The active switch N means a deleted record. Active switch Y means active records. Run as boot application. Run as boot application. Here record will be updated to Y. Record is updated. Go to the database. Active switch became N. Updated date also populated. Active switch became N. Updated date populated. Inserted. At 2037 record is inserted. At 2039 record is updated. Active switch became N. Active switch N means it is a deleted record, soft delete. Am I losing the data from DB? No, my data is present in the DB. Whenever I want, I can get this data back. Hard delete and soft delete. Hard delete means deleting the record from the DB permanently using delete query. Once we perform hard delete, we can't get back the data. Soft delete means updating the record as inactive. Soft deleted records will present in DB so we can access whenever we want. Either we can activate the records or deactivate the record. Active switch Y, that means I will consider that as a active record. Active switch N means I will consider it as a deleted record. Observe. Are you able to understand what is a soft delete and hard delete? Are you guys able to understand what is soft delete and hard delete? Yes, this is soft delete example. Soft delete means we will update the record as inactive. Soft delete means we'll update the record as inactive. Earlier, record is inserted with active switch Y. Now the record is updated with N, inactive record. All right, guys. Are you able to see that record is updated to N? That is inactive record. So perfect. With this, we understood how to execute non-select DML queries, how to execute DML queries using query annotation. For them, we need to use a modifying and transactional. Okay. Then we have seen what is creation timestamp, what is update timestamp. And we have seen what is soft delete and what is hard delete. Hard delete means deleting the record from the DB permanently. Soft delete means making the record as inactive. That's it. Yeah. Anybody having any questions? You can ask me now. Yeah. You can unmute your mic. Yes, sir.
So how to insert the default value?
You can set the default value in the column annotation itself. Here we are writing, 1 minute. I'm going for student, right? Column, active switch is available. So here you can set, I think, nullable, scale, unique, updatable, column definition, insertable, length, nullable, appreciation, scale, table, unique. No, man, it's not available here. We need to set it to the entity. We don't have the option here.
And okay, and one more thing, we wrote one query, right? Manual update.
Correct.
Update query. It won't return any count. How many records was updated?
No, man. No, it will just execute. Yeah, you want to get the value from that query.
Yes, that update.
Whatever the value that we are, I mean, you're asking about this one, right?
Yeah, this one. Return how many records was updated. That is important, right?
If you want to do that operation now here, and take whatever the value, what is the return type I have taken for this method?
Void.
Void. Suppose if you take it as a integer, I'm taking this method return type as a integer. Okay, let's go to this and call that method. Student repo dot update student. So what is the record available? Record 101 available, female is available. Let me update that as a male. Okay, update student, it is giving that count, system.out.println. We can do this count. Let's do this. I have written a custom method. We are not writing the logic for this method. This method will be implemented by JPA in the runtime. I have taken integer as a parameter. Let us see what is the return type. 0. It is not returning anything. Female is available. I want to set it to the male. Sorry guys, update student. It is 101 ID. I have given wrong ID. 1 minute. Run as boot application. Record is available with the female. I'm setting that gender as male. Yeah, one count we are getting. So if you take this method return type as an integer, then it will give you the count, how many records are updated. I mean, how many records are affected with this query, that value it is returning. You can take the return type. So earlier I have taken the return type as a void, so not returning anything. If you take the return type as an integer, that integer represents the count of rows which are affected in the table. Yes, it is giving that value.
Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Yep. Good. Yes, ma'am.
Sir, can you repeat, please, select and non-select operations?
Select means retrieving the record. Non-select means inserting, updating, and deleting.
Can we also call PLSQL procedures, sir? Just like in JDBC, we callable statement is there, no, sir?
Right,
Like that
right.
in
So
data JPA.
I will show you that example also.
Okay, sir.
Sir, if status is an active swing, if I want to retrieve that column, means possible.
Sorry,
sir. Status, sir. Let me think a case, sir. If a column status is n, sir. If I try to retrieve that column row, means what happens, sir?
Nothing will happen. You can write select start from table where active switch is equal to n. It's just you can add the where clause, you can get the data.
Okay, okay.
Database don't know that what is soft delete, what is hard delete. So this we are making this column for our requirement purpose. You can retrieve these records where active switch is equal to n, you can get where active switch is equal to y, you can get whatever you want, you can get it.
Okay, sir.
Sir, is it possible to execute DDL statements also in JPA, sir? Like create table, alter table?
Yep.
Sir, why in HQL insert is not allowing, sir? In HQL?
Sir, they have not given the syntax for that. Sir, HQL will allow the insert not directly. If you have the data in one table, that table data you can insert into another table by using HQL. Direct insert is not possible. They have given select, they have given save method for that, for direct insert.
Sir, and also, whatever we have done till now, commit is getting, we have the commit.
Automatically JPA will take care of it.
Can we inactivate that default commit, sir? Because rollback, in case any issue happens.
Yeah, you have a option for rollback. Right? You can do the rollback also.
So how do we inactivate commits then by default? If you have to enable rollback, then we have to disable commit.
Rollback on. So suppose whenever you get some exception, on that exception, I want to roll back it. Exception.class. Whenever I call this method, if I get some exception, I want to roll back the transaction.
Okay, sir.
Sir, like that Spring data JPA is there. Also Spring JDBC also there, no, sir? Why a lot of people are using Spring data JPA only?
If you go for Spring JDBC, you will not have like this methods, na? Save, find by ID, find all, create timestamp, update timestamp. This facility not there in the Spring JDBC. Spring JDBC means direct queries you need to execute as normal queries. There is no ORM in that, na? It will not support for objects representation.
Here also we are using the custom queries, right? Similar to JDBC.
Custom queries. It is one option. It is one option available to execute custom queries. So you have predefined methods, right? Insert, save method, update method, delete method, find by ID, find. Custom queries, we are understanding the option, but JPA not forcing you to use the custom queries. Got it? In the JDBC, it is forcing to use the queries manual. You have to write the query. In the data JPA, is it mandatory to write the query like this? Custom query? It is one feature you have. That's it.
Okay, for the transactional annotation, specific to only non-select, right? For this annotation, we must use the modify or query with the transaction. It's fine to use.
If you are performing non-select operation with the custom queries, these two annotations are mandatory. If you delete a record with the delete method, you no need to write it.
Okay.
You got it?
Yeah.
Ashok, one more question. Suppose we have the two databases. This student repository, can we make it as to connect to which database?
Sir, connecting with two databases is a different concept. We need to configure two data sources for that. We'll discuss in the upcoming.
Okay, fine.
Okay, if you are eager to learn that concept, I already posted a video 10 days back.
I just asked, it's a doubt only.
Yes, I have shared one video in our YouTube channel, how to connect with two databases using data JPA. Lot of configuration we need to do. In the coming sessions, we'll discuss on that.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, can we implement security in any of the columns so that no one can change the column data, like active switch?
Security in the column.
Yes, sir. Only admin can change the security.
It's not like that, sir. In the database, for users, right? Permissions will be available. Read permission, write permissions will be there.
Okay.
So that is not at the table level. That is at the database level.
Okay.
Write operations, read operations will be there for the users.
Okay, sir.
Tomorrow, when you go for your company, they will give you only read access for some tables. They will give you write access for some tables, like that.
Okay, sir.
So, sir, I missed last lecture. So, is there any way that I can see what happened in the last lecture?
Class notes updated. Please check that.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Hello.
All right. Yep. I'm going to update the today's class notes also. Please practice it before coming to tomorrow's session. Tomorrow we are going to talk about primary key and composite primary key in the database. How to work with primary keys and how to work with the composite primary keys in the database by using data JPA. That is our tomorrow's topic.
Sir, the format is constant, or we can change that?
You can change it.
Sir, and what is the difference between MyBatis and JPA?
I did not work with MyBatis. I don't know that.
Okay.
That is also one kind of ORM framework like Hibernate, but I have no experience with MyBatis. Someone is asking, please share the Git link for examples. What is the use of paying 7,000 rupees fees, man? If you are taking my code, then you are not able to write the code on your own. After attending the class also, what is the value you are giving for that 7,000 rupees or 10,000 rupees you have paid for me? It's waste of your money and time. When you are not able to develop this code on your own. I'm explaining for 1 hour non-stop. Theoretically plus programmatically, live coding I'm doing, everything I'm typing and I'm showing. After doing this much also, if you are not able to develop this application on your own, it's better drop from the course. There is no use for your 7,000.
Hello, sir. As you said, the active status and the non-active status by manually like yes and no. So, by the perspective of the API, so how that particular thing will work? Because I got a little confused in that thing.
There is nothing confusion, man. Whenever you get a requirement, they will tell you whether you want to implement a hard delete or soft delete in the project. If they ask, if the requirement is for hard delete now, you can directly execute a delete query to delete that record. If the requirement is for soft delete, you just need to update that column value as Y. That's it.
Okay.
Hi, sir.
Yeah, hello.
Sir, in custom query, in SQL, we are not able to run this insert command, but by the dilate class will be there. So why it is not able to convert this query to SQL queries?
They did not give that option in the JPA. In the JPA, if you want to execute a insert query with a HQL custom query, you need to insert the data into one table from the another table. Directly, you can't insert into a table that is not supported by JPA. Suppose if you have the data in the product table data I want to insert into items table. That you can do by using HQL insert. But a direct insert into table values, it's not supported. If you want to insert a record, you need to go with only save method. Or else you can write the custom insert query. I mean to say native SQL insert query, you can write it.
Again, SQL query.
SQL insert query directly not possible. Okay. Someone is asking, sir, what is ChatGPT? I already posted a video in the YouTube about ChatGPT. I shared in our group also. It will not affect your job as your developer. Don't worry about it. Fine. Thank you. With this, I'm stopping for today. We'll meet again in the tomorrow session. Tomorrow we'll talk about primary keys and composite primary keys in the database tables. So please practice these examples before coming to tomorrow's session. Until then, bye-bye. Good night.